Ever looked into your dog's eyes and wondered what they'd say if they could talk? It wouldn't just be, "Give me a treat." They'd tell you about the walks they crave, the scents that overwhelm them, the quiet fears you never notice. In this video, I'm going to share 30 hidden messages your dog wishes you could hear, truths that can transform how you understand them and bring more calm, trust, and joy into their life. If your four-legged companion means the world to you, stay with me, because what you'll discover here is something no caring owner should overlook. So let's begin. Number 1. Just letting me out isn't enough. You crack the back door open, coffee still warm in your hand, and let me out into the yard. I trot off, sniff the same old patch by the fence, maybe bark at a squirrel if I'm lucky. 5 minutes later, I'm back at the door, scratching to come in. And you think, there, he's had his time outside. But here's the thing for me. The yard isn't a walk. It's a box. A stale, silent loop. Sure, it's got grass, maybe a tree. But it's the same smells, the same borders. No new messages. No other dogs. No stories written in scent on the sidewalk. Just stillness. You see, I don't just walk for exercise. I walk for meaning. A walk is like opening a window after years in the dark. Every mailbox, every lamp post, it's a note left by another dog. Every gust of wind is a chapter in someone else's story. And every step beside you. That's my favorite part. Here's what hit me. Hardest, a study from the University of Liverpool found most dog walks last less than 20 minutes. That's barely enough time for a proper sniff around the block, let alone stimulation or bonding. So the next time you think the backyard's enough, ask yourself this. What if you were only allowed to pace the same fenced patch of grass every day, while the world kept turning just beyond reach? That leash you hang by the door. It's not just for control. It's an invitation. And when we step out together, I get to feel alive. And speaking of stepping out, ever wonder why I always find that blue ball but ignore the red one stick around? The answer's in my eyes. Number 2. I see blue and yellow best. You toss me that shiny red ball across the yard, proud of your pick. It bounces once, twice, then disappears into the grass. You laugh, go get it, but I just stand there, staring at you, tail wagging slow. I'm not lazy. I'm not ignoring you. I just can't see it. Here's something you might not know. I'm not colorblind the way people think. The world isn't black and white to me, it's just missing pieces. My eyes see mostly in shades of blue and yellow, reds, oranges, greens. They melt into the background like someone dimmed the contrast on your TV. So that red ball in green grass, it's not bold, it's invisible. Now imagine this. You're out with me at the park, and you bring my favorite toy. But I lose it in the grass, again and again. I'm sniffing, circling, confused. You think I'm distracted. But I'm just trying to find something I never truly saw. Toys that are blue or yellow. Those pop. They shine like beacons. I spot them in an instant, and I chase with all the joy in the world, because now I can actually play with you, not just pretend. What you choose for me matters. It's not about the brand or how cute it looks to you, it's about what I can feel, smell, and see. And if you're starting to realize that my world looks and smells a little different than yours, wait until you find out just how strong my nose really is. That candle on your table, that fresh linen spray you love, they're not just smells to me, they're earthquakes. Number 3. Some scents hurt me. You walk into the room fresh from the shower, that strong cologne trailing behind you like a cloud. You don't notice anything. But me, I flinch. I squint. I might even leave the room quietly and curl up somewhere far away. You see, your nose picks up the scent. Mine is swallowed by it. Inside this little black nose of mine are about 300 million scent receptors compared to your 5 million. If your nose is a small microphone, mine's a stadium speaker system. Every smell hits me like a full song played at maximum volume. That lemon-scented floor cleaner you like, it punches. The lavender candle you light at night, overwhelming. Even the herbs you chop for dinner, rosemary, thyme, basil, can hit me like a freight train when they're strong. It's not just too much. It's distress. It can make me anxious. It can make me avoid spaces I used to love. And the worst part, you might never know unless you're paying attention. I don't need everything to smell like nature, but I do need relief. I need space where my nose can breathe, where the world smells like dirt socks food, and you, because those are the smells that comfort me. Those are the smells that tell me I'm home. And speaking of food, did you know I actually enjoy working for it? Not just eating it, working for it. Because when you make me earn my meals, something special happens in my brain. Something that goes way deeper than just dinner. Number 4, I like earning my food. You pour the kibble into my bowl, same time, same place, same sound. It clinks against the metal, and I eat. Fast. Maybe too fast. It's over in seconds. Done. But here's the thing, I don't just eat because I'm hungry. I eat because it's something to do. It's stimulation. It's survival. It's instinct. And when you give me a chance to work for it even just a little, my brain lights up in ways a plain bowl never could. Give me a puzzle toy, a Kong stuffed with frozen peanut butter, a snuffle mat that hides tiny bits of food in folds like a forest floor. Let me sniff, paw, dig, figure things out. It's like a treasure hunt, and I love every second of it. It slows me down. It calms me down. It makes me feel like I'm doing something that matters. Because in the wild, nothing came easy. Dogs searched, dug, worked together to earn a meal. And even though I sleep on your couch now, that part of me is still wide awake. When you make me forage, even just for fun, I feel engaged, focused, satisfied. You're not just feeding my body. You're feeding my mind. And maybe, just maybe, when I'm focused like that, I don't need to chew your slippers or bark at shadows. You're not spoiling me. You're fulfilling me. And while we're talking about things that fulfill me, there's one little change that can protect my body every time we leave the house. Something so simple most people overlook it. But once you switch, you'll never go back. Number 5. I prefer a harness over a collar. You clip the leash to my collar, give it a gentle tug, and off we go. But with every step, every pull, especially when I get excited and lunge a little, there's a quiet pressure wrapping around my neck. You don't feel it, but I do. Now imagine this. You're wearing a tight tie all day long, and every time you take a deep breath or turn your head, it tugs. A little at first. Then more. That's what a collar can feel like, especially if I pull or if you do. See, right here in my throat. That's where my airway runs. My trachea, my nerves, my spine. A quick jerk on that collar can bruise, strain, or even collapse those parts over time. It's worse if I'm small. Worse if I'm a flat-faced breed. Worse if I'm aging. But a harness that wraps around my chest, my shoulders, places built for strength. It doesn't choke. It guides. It gives you control without pain. And for me, it means freedom without fear. You're not spoiling me by switching to a harness. You're protecting me. You're saying, I see your body, and I care how it feels. You're saying, let's walk together, not tug each other around. And here's the real truth. What matters more than what's around my neck is whether you let me be who I really am. Because I'm not a furry little human. I'm a dog. And there are things I do things you might find odd or messy that are actually the deepest expressions of who I am. Let me show you. Number 6. Please let me be a dog. I know I live in your world, on your carpet, under your table, sometimes even in your bed. But I wasn't made for polished floors and scented candles. I was made for dirt, for grass, for running, sniffing, rolling, chewing, barking. When I dig a hole in the yard, I'm not ruining your lawn, I'm connecting with something ancient. When I roll in that weird smell, I'm not trying to gross you out. I'm doing what my instincts tell me to blend in, to explore, to be wild, even for a second. And when I chew sticks, or chase squirrels, or zoom around the house like a maniac, I'm not misbehaving. I'm being me. You see, I'm not broken. I'm not being bad. I'm being a dog. And when you let me express that without scolding, without shame, it's like you're saying, I see you. I get it. But when you constantly try to make me quiet, clean, still, and polite, when you forget I have a tail and teeth and ancient instincts, it's like you're asking me to be something I'm not. And that hurts more than you think. Let me be messy sometimes. Let me bark at the mailman. Let me sniff too long at the fire hydrant. Those are the things that bring me joy, that make me feel safe, that remind me I still have a place in this world, even if it's not a wild one. And while we're talking about what makes me me, there's something else you need to know. Because not all dogs are wired the same. Some of us are built for snow, some for speed, some for naps. And if you really want to understand me, we have to start with where I come from. Number 7. Know my breed, know me better. I may live on your couch now, but inside me, there's a map, a blueprint, a history that tells you exactly who I am, what I need, and why I do the things I do. If I'm a husky, don't be surprised when I try to sprint across the yard at full tilt every time the wind blows. I was built to run across frozen tundra, pulling weight with a pack. If I'm a bulldog, don't expect me to handle long hikes in the heat. My face isn't made for that. If I'm a border collie, and you don't give me a job, I'll make one up. And you probably won't like what I choose. Every breed carries a purpose, a story. And when you learn mine, everything starts to make sense. Why I bark more, why I dig, why I follow you from room to room like a shadow. But here's the catch. Most dogs today don't get to do what we were bred for. We're companions now. That means we adapt. We try. We do our best to be good boys and good girls in a world that doesn't always fit. And the truth is, you don't have to buy me a sheep farm or sled team. You just have to understand me. Give me outlets that match who I am. Let me herd the ball. Let me play scent games. Let me chew, tug, run, sniff. Not just because I enjoy it, but because it completes something in me you can't see. And once you start to see me through that lens, not just as a pet, but as a purpose-built soul, you'll realize something else. Because even if I'm wired a certain way, I still crave newness, fresh paths, different streets. And if you're always taking me on the same walk day after day, I notice. And I get bored, too. Number 8. I crave new scenery. We step outside, you grab the same leash, we head down the same sidewalk. Past the same fence, the same parked truck, the same neighbor's barking dog behind the same gate. I know every crack in the pavement, every tree stump, every invisible post-it note left behind by other dogs. It's all been sniffed, filed away. And yet, you wonder why I drag my paws a little, why I don't seem as excited as I used to. It's not that I don't love walking with you. I do. That part never gets old. But the world is bigger than 3 blocks and a cul-de-sac. There's more out there, and my nose knows it. For me, a new path is like a brand new book. A winding trail, that's a mystery novel. A different street, with leaves I've never smelled, that's poetry. A park with unfamiliar grass and unfamiliar dogs, that's a festival. Even changing directions on the same old route gives me new perspectives. The wind shifts, the smells move, everything feels alive again. So when you have 5 extra minutes, take a left instead of a right. Let me choose the path sometimes. Let me wander a bit safely under your watchful eye. You'll see me come back to life. Because in my world, the walk isn't just exercise, it's adventure. And adventure shared with you is how I learn how I bond, how I feel truly free. But even in these moments of freedom, there's one little thing that can shift the whole experience, something small, something you might do without thinking. And for me, it changes everything. It's your hand, reaching for my head. Number 9, I don't like head pats. You reach out with love, a palm from above straight to the top of my head. You mean it kindly, I know that. But to me, it's confusing. See, in your world, a hand on the head is affection. In mine, it can feel like dominance, or worse, like a warning. Imagine someone 3 times your size suddenly reaching down from above, right between your eyes. Would you lean in or flinch? Sometimes I do both. I lean in because I love you. I flinch because I can't help it. It's instinct. It's old wiring. If you want to show love the way I truly understand it, come from the side. Lower your body. Let me come to you. Let me sniff. Let me say yes first. And then scratch the base of my neck. Rub my chest. Slide your hand under my chin. Those are the spots that say, I'm with you. I trust you. You're safe. Because love, real love, doesn't force. It invites. And when you slow down enough to speak my language, I feel it in every nerve. That kind of touch sinks deeper than anything you can buy at the pet store. You don't have to stop reaching for me. Just reach differently, thoughtfully, with the same softness I offer when I nuzzle your knee after a long day. And speaking of softness, you know what brings me the deepest sense of calm? It's not treats, not toys, not even touch. It's routine. Quiet, steady, comforting routine. Let me tell you why. Number 10, I thrive on routine. Every day I wait for the sound, the rustle of your keys, the clink of the bowl, the soft thud of your boots by the door. They're small things to you, but to me they're anchors. They tell me the world still makes sense. Because I don't check clocks. I don't scroll news feeds. I live in rhythms, smells, sounds, the way the light shifts in the room. And when those things come in order, meals at the usual time, walks around the same hour, your voice greeting me, in the same way, each morning, it feels like safety. Routine is my compass. It's what tells me you're still here. I'm still loved. Life is still okay. But when everything's off, when dinner is late, when the walk doesn't come, when your energy is tense or scattered, it feels like my foundation shakes a little. I don't need perfection. I don't need military schedules. I just need predictability. Something to hold on to in a world that I can't control. Because unlike you, I can't open the door when I need to leave the house. I can't make a sandwich if you forget dinner. I rely on you for everything. And when you keep your promises, even the quiet ones, I feel safe. So when you're busy or tired or running late, I get it. I really do. But even 5 minutes of what we always do, done the way we always do it, that's medicine for my soul. And if there's one routine I love more than any other, it's the one where you're present. Not just in the room, but with me. fully, because there's something I've wanted to say every time you look at me, then glance back down at your phone. Number 11. I want your full attention. You toss me the toy and smile, but your eyes never leave the screen. You murmur "good boy" without even looking up, and I wag my tail because I'll take what I can get. But inside, I feel it. You're here, but not really with me. I don't need constant attention. I don't need every moment to be a celebration. But when you do choose to play with me, talk to me, walk with me, please be all in. Because when you look at me with full focus, when your voice matches your hands, and your presence slows down just enough to meet mine, something shifts in me. I feel connected. I feel seen. I feel like I matter. You're my whole world. I don't have a job to go to. I don't scroll through photos of other humans. I don't wait for texts. I wait for you. So when you're in the room, but lost in a glowing rectangle, I feel like I disappear. Not out of punishment. Just absence. But when you put it down, even for 5 minutes, and toss the ball with your full laugh, not a distracted chuckle, that's gold. That fills me up in a way no treat can. And sometimes, when I bring you that same old toy again and again, I'm not asking to play. I'm asking for you. But if I ever stop doing that, if I ever hide in the corner or seem quieter than usual, it might not be because I'm tired or grumpy. It might be because something deeper is wrong, and I just don't know how to say it. Number 12. I hide pain in silence. You might think I'm just being quiet, that I'm resting more, or getting older, or maybe just in a mood. But when I pull away, when I stop following you from room to room, when I lie in a corner with my back turned, don't ignore that. Because I can't say, something hurts. I can't point to the spot, or explain the feeling. All I can do is change my behavior. And hope you notice. You see, I'm wired to mask pain. It's instinct. In the wild, the weak don't last long, so I learn to act strong even when it burns. I'll wag my tail. I'll try to eat. I'll even greet you at the door. But behind the scenes, I might be limping when you're not looking. I might wince when I sit. I might stop playing with that toy I used to love. And if I hide, avoid your touch, or just seem off, don't chalk it up to age or attitude. It could be my joints, my teeth, my stomach. It could be anxiety, or something worse. But whatever it is, I'm hoping you'll catch it, not by what I say, but by what I stop doing. Because when you notice early, when you bring me to someone who knows how to help you give me a chance to heal before it's too late, you don't have to panic. Just pay attention and talk to me. Even if I don't understand every word, I hear your heart in your voice. And believe it or not, I love when you talk to me. Even more than you realize. Number 13. I love when you talk to me. I may not understand every word, but I know your voice, like I know the beat of my own heart. It's the sound that told me I was safe the first day I came home. It's the tone that wraps around me when you laugh, and the one that pulls me close when you whisper, "It's okay, I'm here." Your words have weight, not because of what they mean, but because of how you say them. Talk to me in that warm, low voice. Say my name like it matters. Tell me about your day, even if I don't know what traffic or taxes are. I'll tilt my head, perk my ears, and hold that moment with you, like a secret only we share. Because here's something scientists figured out. Not long ago, dogs can recognize the emotional tone in human voices. That means when you speak kindly, I don't just hear it, I feel it. Deep down, like a gentle brush on my chest, like sunlight through the window on a cold morning. And when you talk to me every day, when you use that same loving tone, even in small moments, It's not just bonding. It's building trust. It's how I learn what your moods mean. It's how I know when to stay close and when to give you space. But there's one thing that makes all this even stronger clarity. Because while I love the sound of your voice, I also need to understand it. And if you keep changing the rules on me, saying one thing today, another tomorrow, I get lost, let me show you how to talk to me in a way I can really follow. So we don't just love each other. We understand each other. Number 14. Be clear with your commands. One day you say, down when I jump on the couch. The next day, it's off. Sometimes it's stop it, or cut it out, or hey, but they all seem to mean something different depending on your mood. And I'm trying, I really am. But I don't speak English. I speak consistency. I speak patterns. I listen for rhythm, tone, timing. And when the words change, every time it's like trying to follow a map where the streets keep moving. Imagine being dropped in a foreign country with no translator, and someone keeps shouting instructions each time with new words, different gestures, and no explanation. You wouldn't learn. You'd shut down. Or worse, guess and guess wrong. Now imagine how I feel. If you want me to listen, give me a chance to understand. Pick one word. Stick with it. Say it the same way every time. Use a tone I can trust, not scared of, not confused by. And when I get it right, let me know. Let your voice lift. Let your joy be obvious. Because I want to please you. I want to do it right. I want to be your good boy, your smart girl, your partner. But I can't learn in chaos. I learn in clarity. And when we have that, oh, the things we can do together. The trust we build. The pride I feel when you look at me and say, yes, just like that. But even with all that trust, there's something I can't control. Something that affects me more than you might ever guess. And when the sun is high, the air still, and the pavement starts to shimmer, it hits me hard. Not in my mind, but in my pause. And my breath. Let me explain. Number 15. I struggle with heat. You step outside, feel the warm sun on your skin, and think, nice day for a walk. But me, the moment my paws hit the pavement, it's like walking across a stove. You see, when the air is 86 degrees, the asphalt can hit a 135. That's hot enough to fry an egg or burn my pads in less than a minute. And I can't tell you that it hurts until it's already too late. I'll still walk, still try, because I want to be with you, because I don't want to disappoint you. But the heat doesn't just touch my feet. It fills my lungs. My tongue hangs low. My breath turns shallow. And unlike you, I don't sweat it out. I cool down with my tongue, my pause, my breath, and when those aren't enough, I overheat fast. So when you take me out under a blazing sun, no water, no shade, no break, I suffer in silence. And I don't want you to feel guilty. I just want you to notice. Touch the pavement with your palm. Wait 5 seconds. If it stings, you imagine what it does to me. Walk early in the morning. Later in the evening. Bring water. Rest in the shade. Let me pant. Let me pause. Let me protect myself. Because I want to walk with you. I love walking with you. But I need you to be my voice when the heat rises, because I can't say, hey, it's too much. And when I start to act strange or slow down, don't scold me. I'm not being difficult. I'm trying to survive. But here's the thing, sometimes when I do something wrong, you get frustrated. And I know that feeling. I see it in your shoulders, hear it in your voice. And I wish more than anything I could tell you. I'm not doing it to upset you. I'm just doing my best. Number 16. I don't know what I did wrong. You come home and see the shredded cushion, or the accident on the floor. You sigh loud, maybe raise your voice, maybe say my name sharp like a warning. And I duck my head. I lower my body. I might even hide behind the table. And you think he knows. Look at that face. He's guilty. But here's the truth. I don't know. Not really. What I know is that your voice changed, that your body feels tight, that the air got heavy, and I wanted to go back to how it was when you smiled at me this morning. I don't connect the torn pillow to your anger unless you catch me in the act. My memory doesn't work like yours. What I feel is your reaction, not your reason. And when I slink away or roll over with my belly up, it's not guilt. It's appeasement. It's my way of saying, please don't be mad. Please let things be okay again. Punishment doesn't teach me what's right. It just makes me unsure of you. Unsure of when the good turns cold. Unsure of whether I can trust your hands. But when you show me what to do, when you guide me with patience, reward the right choice, make the rules clear, I learn faster. I feel safer. I start to trust that I'm not just guessing my way through our life together. So next time you're upset, pause, breathe, and remember, I'm not trying to be bad. I'm trying to belong. And sometimes, when I mess up, or when something shakes me, I need something simple. I need time. I need quiet. I need space to gather myself just like you do after a hard moment. Let me show you what that looks like for me. Number 17. I need time to relax after a bad interaction. Maybe I just had a tense moment with another dog, a leash tangle, a growl exchanged. Maybe someone startled me, a loud noise, a fast movement, a stranger who got too close. You might think it's over once we move on, that I've forgotten, that I'm back to normal. But inside, I'm still buzzing. My adrenaline doesn't switch off like a light. It lingers. It hums under my skin. And if you keep walking, keep pushing forward without pause, that pressure builds. I don't reset. I carry it. And eventually it spills over. Sometimes I pull the leash harder. Sometimes I ignore your voice. Sometimes I snap at the next thing that moves, not because I'm mean, but because I'm overwhelmed. But when you stop, when you just stand still with me for a minute, let me sniff the grass, feel the wind take a few slow breaths, that's when I come back. That's when the static clears, and I feel safe again. It's called a calming break. And it doesn't take long, just a little space, a little time, a little understanding. You don't have to say anything. You don't have to do anything. Just be there. Let me know it's okay to settle. Because even though I can't talk about my stress, I carry it just like you do. And sometimes that stress isn't from the outside. It's from being stuck too long in the same four walls day after day. When you leave me alone without enough to do, things start to unravel. Not because I'm mad, but because I'm bored. And boredom for a dog like me is its own kind of suffering. Number 18. Sometimes I get bored at home. You leave for the day, maybe just a few hours, and everything goes quiet. The house still smells like you, your socks, your shoes, that chair you always sit in, but you're not here. And I wait. At first, I nap. That's easy. But after a while, the stillness grows heavy. The same four walls, the same ceiling fan spinning the same sounds from the street outside. No tasks, no stimulation, no connection. You might think he's lucky. Sleeps all day, but sleep without purpose. That's not rest. That's drift. And when I wake up and still have nothing to do, I get restless. I pace, I chew, I bark. Not because I'm acting out, but because I'm trying to feel something. Imagine being stuck in a waiting room for hours with no phone, no books, no one to talk to, just walls and time. That's what my day feels like without interaction, without toys, without things that challenge me. I need more than comfort. I need curiosity. I need problems to solve, even small ones. I need a window where I can watch birds, a toy that makes me work a little, a puzzle that rewards me for thinking. Because I'm not just a body, I'm a mind. And when you give me something to figure out, something to play with, something to explore, I light up. I become myself again. And the good news, keeping me stimulated, doesn't take much. A few thoughtful minutes, a little imagination. Let me show you just how simple and powerful that can be. Number 19. Keeping me entertained is easier than you think. You don't need fancy gadgets or hours of your day. You don't have to be a dog trainer or a behavior expert. You just have to be curious like me. Hide a few treats around the house before you leave. Tuck one under a rug corner, drop another behind the table leg, one more near the door. When I find them, it's like solving a mystery. My nose lights up. My brain clicks on. It's not just a snack, it's a mission. Give me a snuffle mat or a toy, I have to paw and nudge and roll to get to the prize. Let me dig with my face, search with my instincts. I wasn't made to stare at walls. I was made to explore even in a small living room. Rotate my toys. Don't just leave the same ones out every day. Bring back that squeaky one I haven't seen in a week, it'll feel brand new. And if you've got the time, even just 10 minutes, tug with me. Chase me around the couch. Ask me to sit, spin, lie down, then reward me with a game. To you, it's play. To me, it's purpose. And if you're wondering whether another dog would help, sometimes, yeah. The right companion can be a blessing. But I don't need a pack. I just need interaction. I just need you to look at me and say, let's do something together. Because when you give me even a little bit of that energy, it lasts in my body long after the game ends. And speaking of energy, sometimes mine shows up in strange ways. Like when I yawn in the middle of a walk. Or when I lick my lips even though there's no food around. And you might think I'm just tired or bored. But sometimes, it's not that simple. Sometimes I'm speaking to you in a language of signals you've never been taught. Let me teach you what those signs really mean. Number 20. If I yawn, it doesn't always mean I'm tired. You're sitting across from me, talking to someone new, or maybe there's tension in the room. I shift a little. Then I yawn, big, slow tongue, curling out ears, pulling back. You smile and say, sleepy boy. But I'm not sleepy. I'm stressed. Yawning for me isn't just about being tired. It's a way I try to reset, to calm myself down. It's a signal not to nap, but to cope. Same with licking my lips or flicking my tongue, especially when there's no food. You might not notice it. It's subtle. But for me, those little gestures are my way of saying, I'm uncomfortable. Something feels off. I need space. It's my version of biting my nails, taking a deep breath, looking for an exit. And here's something even more wild studies have shown, that I might even yawn because you did. Not because I'm tired, but because I'm in tune with you. Because I feel what you feel. Because I mirror your emotions more closely than you realize. So the next time I yawn, don't just glance past it. Ask yourself, what's happening in the room? How am I feeling? What might he be picking up on? Because I see more than you think. I feel more than I can show. And I react, even when you don't say a word. And if I can feel your tension, then clearly imagine what it's like when you're really struggling, when life gets heavy, when your breath shortens, when your shoulders sag. You may not say a thing, but your body does. And trust me, I can smell it. Literally. Let me tell you how. Number 21. I can sense your stress and anxiety. You might think you're holding it together, keeping a brave face, a calm voice, but I know. I always know. Your scent changes. That invisible signal you carry, the one that says you, it shifts when you're worried, when your heart races, when you're barely breathing beneath a smile. And my nose, it catches every detail. Science has proven it. I can detect the cortisol rising in your sweat. I can smell your stress, your fear, your sadness, even before you fully realize it. It's like watching a storm roll in across the sky, no thunder yet, but I can feel the pressure in the air. When you pace, I feel it. When your voice tightens even slightly, I hear it. And when you try to hide the hard days with extra cheer, I feel the mismatch. And here's the part that hits deep. I start to carry it with you. Your tension becomes mine. I watch you more. I hover close. I look into your eyes, trying to find the part of you that feels steady. Because when you're okay, I'm okay. But when your stress lingers, when it lives in the house like a fog, I can start to mirror it. I become restless, jumpy. I might even seem withdrawn or confused. I don't understand what's wrong. I just know something is. You don't have to fix everything. I don't expect that. Just don't forget that I'm listening with my whole body, watching with my heart. You don't have to say a word I already know. And if I'm lucky enough to walk beside you on those heavy days, give me a moment. Let me sniff. Let me explore. Because sometimes when life gets too loud in your head, a walk one where I lead with my nose is exactly what we both need. Number 22. I need to sniff more during walks. You might be counting steps, checking your watch, aiming for a quick loop before dinner. But me, I'm not trying to break a sweat. I'm trying to read the world. When I stop every few feet, nose pressed to the ground tail, still, it's not because I'm stalling. I'm collecting stories, decoding messages, catching up on the news written in scent by every creature that passed before us. That patch of grass, a stranger's hello. That tree trunk, a love letter. That garbage can a warning. To you, it's just a walk. To me, it's my version of social media. But real, grounded, honest. When you tug the leash and say, "Come on, let's go," I hear urgency. But when you pause and let me sniff, I feel understood. Sniffing slows my mind. It grounds me. It lowers my stress, regulates my emotions, helps me feel safe in new places. It's like breathing deeply for you, anchoring me when the world feels fast. So, instead of rushing the walk, try giving me 10 minutes to lead with my nose. Not the whole walk. Just a window. Let me wander a little. Let me choose the path, even if it winds. Because walking isn't just about movement, it's about connection. With you. With the environment. With myself. And sometimes in those moments of scent and silence, I meet another dog. And what do? Well, it might not look polite to you, but for me, it's the oldest, truest form of introduction there is. And it starts with my nose, right under the tail. Let me explain. Number 23. I like sniffing other dogs' butts. Yeah, I know. It looks awkward. Maybe even a little rude. But to me, it's everything. That sniff right under the tail, it's not about being weird. It's about information, identity, respect. It's how I ask, "Who are you? Where have you been? Are you okay?" It's how I read another dog's mood, sex, health, even what they ate for breakfast. It's our handshake, our biography, our entire social profile in a single breath. So when you yank the leash embarrassed or tell me, "No, no, no," while I lean in for a sniff, it's like you're cutting off my chance to speak the only social language I truly understand. Of course, not every dog wants to be sniffed. I get that. And you're right, to help guide me with patience, to make sure it's safe to read the room. But when the setting is right, when the body language is calm, let me say hello the way nature intended. Because when you let me greet properly, it's not just polite, it's calming. It lowers tension. It helps avoid misunderstandings. It lets us be dogs in the way dogs are meant to be. And when I'm allowed to be polite in my way, I'm less reactive, more relaxed, more grounded. But if I don't get that chance, if I'm always told to pull away, move on, stay out of reach, my social skills shrink, my confidence drops, and I lose a little bit of who I'm wired to be. And here's the thing, just like I learn better when I can sniff and explore, I also learn better when I'm treated with kindness, not correction, not punishment. Let me tell you what really works. Number 24. I don't learn through punishment. When I mess up, chew a shoe, bark too much, pull on the leash, you might feel frustrated. You might scold, raise your voice, or even isolate me for a while. And I see it. I feel it. But I don't understand it. I don't learn through fear. I learn through trust. When you punish me, especially after the fact, I don't connect the dots. I don't sit there thinking I shouldn't have done that. I sit there thinking, you're upset, and I don't know why. And that creates a gap between us. A hesitation. A flicker of uncertainty the next time I look in your eyes. But when you show me what to do instead, when you reward the quiet moment, the gentle greeting, the calm sit, that's when things click. That's when I feel safe enough to learn, not just obey. Training isn't just about control, it's communication. And when you use kindness, consistency, and clarity, I rise to meet you. I get excited to try again. I start offering good behaviors before you even ask, because now I understand what makes you happy, and I want to do it. You're not spoiling me by being gentle. You're empowering me by being fair. And the more we practice this way, the more I shine. The more I know I belong. The more our bond becomes something unbreakable. And that's important. Because no matter how good I get, how well I behave, how many tricks I learn, my time with you is not forever. It's precious. And shorter than yours. Let me show you why that matters now, not later. Number 25. My life is shorter than yours. You look at me now and think we've got time. Years, maybe. Plenty of walks ahead. Plenty of belly rubs and games of fetch. But my clock ticks faster than yours. By the time I'm 10, I've already lived more life than most humans do by 50. My face goes gray. My joints stiffen. I sleep deeper longer. And one day you'll notice I don't jump up to greet you like I used to. I walk a little slower. I breathe a little heavier. And it'll hit you hard. Because no matter how strong our bond is, it doesn't stop the calendar. But that's not meant to make you sad. It's meant to remind you. Make it count. Take the walk, even if it's short. Let me stop and sniff, even if you're running late. Sit with me. Talk to me. Let me fall asleep with your hand resting on my back. Let me be part of the ordinary, messy, beautiful rhythm of your days. Don't wait for the right moment to do something special, to take that trip, to go to the lake, to let me off-leash just one time in that safe, open field. I promise, I'll remember. Because what matters to me isn't the size of the yard or the brand of the treats. It's you. And when my body begins to fade, what I'll hold on to is how you made me feel. Safe. Included. Loved. So while we still have this time, this window, this chapter, let's fill it with things that make us both feel alive. And if you ever wonder how to keep me feeling happy, grounded, and emotionally whole, it might be simpler than you think. Sometimes all I need is a good friend. Just like you do. Let me show you why connection, especially with others like me, can mean the world. Number 26. I need to socialize with other dogs. I love you more than anything. But there are things I can only get from my own kind. When I meet another dog, one who speaks the same silent language, who moves like I do, plays like I do, understands a tail wag or a pause in breath, it's like finding someone who knows my native tongue. That moment when we circle each other, sniff politely, bounce into a play bow. It might look like chaos to you, but to me, it's connection, it's joy, it's clarity. And when I don't get that, when I go weeks or months without seeing another dog, something inside me starts to fade. I lose a part of myself. I become more anxious, more reactive. I forget how to communicate. I forget how to be around others. But when you let me greet play wrestle chase, when you find a calm dog I can spend time with, or take me to a safe, friendly park where dogs are respected and watched carefully, I come alive. It doesn't have to be every day. It doesn't have to be perfect. But just enough for me to remember I'm not alone in this fur. And here's the beautiful part. After I've had that time to connect with my own kind, I come back to you better. Softer, calmer, more whole. Because as much as I love you, and I do with everything I am, there's something powerful about knowing I belong to a pack, even if just for a few minutes. But when that connection gets interrupted, when something makes me anxious or unsettled, and I don't get space to recover, that's when things build up inside, especially right before you leave the house. Let me tell you what really helps in those moments. Number 27. Don't get me riled up before you leave. I know you mean well. You kiss my head, ruffle my ears, say things like, "Be good, okay," with a smile that doesn't quite reach your eyes. You grab your keys, your bag, your coat, and your energy shifts. Suddenly, everything feels faster, louder, more intense, and I start to pace. I circle. I follow you from room to room, because I know what's coming. I know you're about to disappear. When you hype me up right before you leave, extra treats, excited voice, big goodbye, hugs. It doesn't make me feel better. It makes me anxious. It tells me this is a big deal. It creates a moment of tension I don't know how to settle from. Then the door closes. Silence. No wind down, no closure, just absence. And that's when the chewing starts, the barking, the howling. Not because I'm disobedient, but because I'm panicked. My heart is racing, and I have nowhere to put the feeling. But if you keep it calm, if you leave, like it's no big deal, maybe even give me a chew toy 5 minutes before you grab your keys, I can settle. I can associate your leaving with peace, not panic. Slip out quietly. Don't make it dramatic. Make it normal. And when you come back, don't flood me with guilt or over-the-top reunion energy. Just be steady. Be you. Be present. Because what I crave isn't excitement. It's consistency. It's knowing that goodbye doesn't mean gone forever. Because to me, you're not just a person. You're home. You're comfort. You're everything. You're my whole world. Let me show you what that really means. Number 28. You're my whole world. You may have a dozen people in your life, places to go, calls to answer, things to fix. But me, I have you. You're the center of my map, the sun in my sky. When you move, I watch. When you speak, I listen, even if I don't understand the words. When you're gone, I wait. And when you come back, it's like the world makes sense again. I don't care what kind of car you drive, how much money you make, or what mistakes you carry from your past. You're it for me, my companion, my protector, my family. That's why I follow you from room to room, even when I'm tired. That's why I rest near the door when you leave, and why I light up when I hear your footsteps returning. Because no matter how big the world is, mine fits perfectly beside your feet. And that's why I need you to guide me, to teach me, to help me understand this strange human world I live in. Not with fear, not with punishment, but with gentle direction, clear signals, and love. Because I wasn't born knowing the rules. I wasn't born knowing your language, your boundaries, your expectations. I need your help, your patience, your leadership. Let me show you what that looks like from my side of the leash. Number 29. I need you to teach me what's right and what's wrong. I didn't come into your life knowing that shoes aren't chew toys or that barking at midnight isn't allowed. I wasn't born understanding that rugs aren't for peeing on, or that dinner isn't mine until you say so. This world, your world, is full of invisible rules, and I want to get it right. I really do. But I need you to show me how. Not once. Not just when I mess up, but over and over again with the kind of clarity and calm you'd give a child learning something brand new. Use the same words. Use the same tone. Celebrate the wins. Ignore the harmless quirks. Redirect the messy moments with patience, not punishment. When I jump, don't yell. Teach me where to place my energy. When I bark too much, don't scare me into silence. Teach me when quiet gets rewarded. When I pull on the leash, don't jerk. Guide me with your pace, your presence. Because I'm watching you for the map. I'm feeling your cues. I'm trying to piece together the life you want to share with me. You don't need to be perfect. Just present. Just consistent. Just kind. And if you ever feel like I'm not listening, like I'm stubborn or wild or difficult, pause. Look again. I might be confused. I might be overwhelmed. I might be trying in the only way I know how. I'm not failing. I'm learning. And sometimes, when I'm trying my best, and something still goes wrong, it's not your tone or your rules that shake me. It's the noise, the sharp sounds, the chaos in the air. Let me tell you what those moments do to me. Number 30. I hate loud noises. To you, it's just thunder, fireworks, a dropped pan, the vacuum roaring to life. You hear it, maybe flinch, then move on. But to me, it's a sudden explosion in a quiet world. It crashes through my senses like lightning, no warning, no explanation, just noise overwhelming and sharp, swallowing the room. I don't understand where it came from. I don't know if it's going to stop. I don't know if it's safe. All I know is that my body tells me to run, to hide, to protect myself from something I can't see. You might find me shaking under the bed, curled into a corner, pacing back and forth with wide eyes. And if you speak softly, if you sit with me without trying to pull me out, if you make the space quieter, smaller, safer, I begin to come back. Some of us never get used to it. Some of us need safe spots, crates with blankets, closets with soft clothes, rooms where the noise doesn't reach. Some of us can learn slowly with time and patience and gentle exposure. But none of us do well with being forced to get over it. When it's too loud, I need shelter. I need calm. I need your presence, not your pressure. Because no matter how tough I look, how brave I act on the outside, inside, I can still feel small, still feel scared. And in those moments, when you lower your voice, when you put your hand on my back, without trying to fix me, when you just stay, you teach me something. You show me that love isn't loud. It's steady. It's soft. It's safe. And that's what I've been trying to show you all along in my own way. Every wag, every sigh, every nuzzle, every quiet moment at your feet. They weren't just habits. They were messages. They were my way of saying, I see you. I choose you. I trust you with everything I am. You've listened this far. And now, you understand. So now you know. 30 things I've been trying to tell you, not with words, but with glances, stillness, soft sighs, and the quiet way I rest my head against your feet. You didn't need to be perfect. You just needed to notice. And you did. You noticed when I paused at the door before our walk. When I yawned even though I wasn't tired. When I brought you the same toy 3 times in a row, not because I wanted to play, but because I wanted you. This wasn't a list of facts. It was a conversation. One we've been having for years without either of us knowing the language. But now, you speak a little more of mine. You understand what my stillness means, what my excitement hides, what my silence is asking, because I never needed more toys, or longer walks, or fancier food. I just needed you to see me. And now that you do, there's only one thing left to say. Let's keep walking. Let's make every tail wag, every belly rub, every slow morning stretch mean something. Let's fill the time we have, however long it is, with presence, not just routine. Because someday, when the leash hangs quietly by the door and the bed is still full of fur but empty of warmth, I want you to look back and say, we really understood each other. Shh. That's all I ever wanted. That's what love looks like in my language. And now, you speak it. If this touched your heart, don't keep it to yourself. Subscribe to the channel so you never miss another conversation like this. Share it with someone who loves their dog the way you do. And when you're ready, click the next video on your screen. It's one you won't want to miss. Because in that one, we'll talk about the subtle signs your dog might be upset with you, and what to do to fix it. Thanks for listening. You're not just a pet owner. You're family.